Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Wandering Minds podcast. And tonight we got something brewing a little different. Tonight, this show is actually going to be hosted by no one other than our own Logan. This
Boy.
is, this was his idea for this podcast, so I'm going to let him roll with it tonight. But yeah, we all appreciate you and welcome you guys here to the show tonight. And thank you for stopping by, and we, hope we can be entertaining. So take it away, Logan.
All right, so tonight we're going to be covering the simulation theory. I'm just going to ask you guys real quick. What do you guys know about the simulation theory? We'll start with AK because I want to get your guys' opinions on this thing as well. So just for starters, what do you guys know about it?
The simulation theory is pretty much exactly how it sounds. It's about being in a simulation, a computer-generated world. I'll just leave it at that so other people can kind of touch on it because there's a lot here. But yeah, that's the basis of it.
I know my dad absolutely hates this theory for some weird
reason. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's just, to me, it didn't exist before the Matrix movie.
It did. Albert Einstein.
It did, but it didn't get the public attention that it did. That does now compared to the Matrix movies. I'll tell you what, the idea has merit. I mean, there have been books about this and sci-fi books over the years claiming that we're part of one large either virtual reality or part of one. We're actually the nervous system for a larger organism. I mean, all kinds of crazy things that. Hey, you know what? I mean, it's interesting. You can definitely go down a rabbit hole 100 different ways on this one. I personally hold. You guys know I'll give weight to a bunch of different conspiracy theories, but this one doesn't really hold liquid in my cup. You know what I mean? I'm not too sold on this one, but I guess anything's possible.
So I mean, what I know about it is deja vu. I mean, that's one thing, and then sometimes I looked it up on the internet. It reports of people like you live in a dream, like, and one, like, it, like, say, for instance, like, I had to look it up. There was some crazy theory that this dude, like, he was in his teenage years, thought of something in his future, and then it happened in the future. Like, he thought he lived in a simulation in the future before he knew about it.
Mm-hmm. Papa, do you believe in the simulation theory? I'm going to take that as a no. All right, so this is from Nick Bostrom, philosopher.
He's muted.
You're muted, Papa.
Some bitch. All right. Yeah. The whiskey's already kicking in early, boys. Woo. All right.
Sure that's only whiskey in that damn cup?
I mean, it's peanut butter whiskey. It's peanut butter Tennessee whiskey, so yeah, it's the good shit. What were we talking about? Right.
Rein it in, son. Rein it in.
Simulation theory.
I mean, I've had the thought possibly, like, I'd be like, it'd be really weird if we really did live in a simulation. Probably not, but have you ever seen your neighbors bring in the groceries? I haven't. There's weird stuff out there.
Yeah. This is from Nick Bostrom, philosopher from Oxford. Our computer power is growing so rapidly. We create simulations of worlds. We have video games with characters inside the game. Imagine a day where you can simulate a world so perfectly within life forms so well that you can recreate every single neurosynaptic thought you could have, and now you're in the simulation on the computer, including the perception of free will.
Listen, man, one of the coolest things I've ever heard is if you are a universe and a species in that universe trying to create a simulation within a simulation, you're probably in a simulation.
Wow.
Yeah, because where else would you get the idea from? It's got to come from somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is from Neil deGrasse Tyson. What happened to you?
No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know how they say that, like, the brain works in a mysterious way. No, man, there's sometimes there's some things brain doesn't register. Like, it just happens out of the blue.
Yeah. And there's another theory going around that there's trillions of simulations and one real universe. I don't really know about that, but Neil deGrasse Tyson said if you close your eyes and throw a dart at a board with trillions of simulations and one real one, which one are you going to land on? So there's more of a chance that we're in a simulation than we're not in a simulation, but I don't really know about that theory. So
You know what's freaky, man, to think about, all honesty? If we're sitting here doing this, living life, this is life to us, and we're in a simulation. I wonder what your simulated characters that you play in your video game are thinking right now.
Oh,
Dude, do not screw with my mind tonight.
Listen, I'm being dead honest, though. I mean, if you are a simulation inside a simulation, like, I'm serious. If we are simulated characters right now, say we are part of the Sims in another reality, and we're actually the players being played. Okay, we're doing this. This is life as we know it. Now, to them, it looks like they're playing a game, but to us, it's real life. So what is our simulated characters in our games simulating, and how are they feeling?
Stop.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm
Follow
done.
the rabbit hole. It's something to think about, man. That's why we call this the wandering minds. Don't say stop, let it wander.
And in 20 years, we're going to have kids with signs marching down the street screaming, "Fort Life characters' lives matter." That's what's going to be happening in about 20 years.
I will. Never mind.
I
This is
will
a censored
unplug
podcast.
that day.
no, man, he has something going on there though. There are kids growing up to be like, not taken away from being like stuck on a tablet, but and when I was growing up, I didn't have no digital tablet or anything. But I'm just saying, like, as we further progress, it's becoming more of an AI world. Like everything is gonna be, we're not gonna we're gonna see digital money in the future. Like, so imagine. I mean, you got something going on there with the Sims thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, dude, I'm not going to sit here as a gamer and tell you that I haven't ever thought it before. I mean, when you game as much as we do and stuff, and then you automatically have these movies that pop out like, oh, man, what was it? Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It
Ralph.
Like you get movies like Wreck-It Ralph that come out. And then you're sitting there.
When does the AI become self-aware?
Right, exactly. So you're like sitting there and you're like, well, shit. Does my Fortnite character feel him getting shot? Does he know? Like, does he have his own digital mind inside of himself? Like you never know, man. I understand it, but how powerful truly is
AI?
Computer
how much pain are the guys in Call of Duty every day? That's what I want to know.
No,
Oh, my guy hates me.
Coding is crazy. Listen to this. Have y'all seen Moonfall that came out this week on I think it's free.
I've heard of it.
Oh
So-
yeah, that's supposed to be actually where the moon comes crashing down to Earth, right?
Yeah. I mean, are y'all gonna watch it? I really don't want to get into too much spoilers, but what we're
I really
talking
thought
about
this
right
man just said Moon Knight, and I was ready to get
No,
into a
Moonfall.
normal
That's
conversation.
what it's called, Moonfall. No,
I'm ready
Moonfall.
for that one.
Yeah. So watch Moonfall is literally about the AI,
When's the
like
Marvel
how AI
podcast?
developed. That's all I had to say. The movie, is what we're talking about right now. That's why I don't want to spoil it too much. But it's basically the moon ain't the moon. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I've kind of seen the trailers for it, so I kind of get what you're saying. But
Yeah. So
We
it's
are
a
going
crazy
to
movie,
steal
and the AI is an
the
advance
moon.
in that movie. So
what if the moon is really Galactus? That's what I want to know.
no,
What
listen.
if it's really made out of cheese?
At one point, somebody did dig a file in that movie with an archive saying that there is somebody controlling like a numerous humans in that Earth. That's crazy, bro. Like that movie is just crazy.
Oh,
Not-
yeah.
yeah, with the moon falling, but it's literally you got to see why the moon is falling.
It's got a pretty decent cast too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It has a solid cast. I actually thought the movie was gonna flop in my eyes because I'm a big movie critic, but it was real good as far as like what the subject is trying to grasp with whole simulation and the AI as well.
Man's
that
been on
movie.
Rotten Tomato too much.
Taj, what's good, brother?
Wait,
Dead.
hold on. So hold on real quick. You said that the plot of this movie is that the moon is slowly falling.
Yeah.
Ain't that just Legend of Zelda? Ocarina of Time, or not Ocarina,
Majora's Mask. Yeah.
Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I go back to the original Zelda. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Dad, you work with AI, right? Or you work with people that work with
I
AI?
work with AI as well, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all that stuff.
What are the real capabilities of this shit?
Well, see, right now that's the thing. Right now, it's
What are
machine
we in
learning.
for?
It's machine learning models, is what they are. You use clusters of computers to predict outcomes based on the data you feed them. So, what you've got to look at is right now it can't do it. Now, this isn't to say that the governments aren't designing their own kind of. Now, quantum computing is coming.
Terminator.
Quantum computing can do literally petabytes of data per second. It makes today's fastest desktop computer or even fastest server you can get look like a joke compared to what they're looking at doing. I mean, so yes, Anna, I will feed you. Okay, you know you can get your own food too, right? I apologize.
And you're saying this is being developed now,
Oh yeah,
Corey?
well that's the thing. I mean, I work. They call in the cloud. Now, what you can do with this stuff is suppose you've got a ton of databases and a ton of raw data coming in to your company, and you want to forecast sales, or you want to forecast what to push for the next quarter, or the next 3 quarters, the next 3 years. You can run it through you can run it through these machine learning models, and it'll forecast based on what you've got to say, oh, you should do this, this, or this. Now, they've been doing the same thing at the military war colleges for years, where they feed in data, and we're talking more like GPS, infantry, tanks, explosive rate, things like that. They've been forecasting out military scenarios for years using computers. Well, the question is, when does the computing power available become enough for the actual artificial intelligence models to become no longer artificial intelligence models, but actually full on artificial intelligence?
So
Yeah,
what you're trying to say is Terminator is possible.
you know what? It's funny. People think like James Cameron was completely nuts when he thought of Terminator. Man, it isn't that far fetched. I mean, all it takes, they actually. What are you doing? Oh, okay. What they were doing. I'm distracted here. 4 different directions. I'm sorry. What they've actually found is they actually created an artificial intelligence. You know, the one that plays chess. He beat Gary Kasparov, who was the world champion.
Yeah, the fastest. Yeah, I know.
And on
Yeah,
top of that,
Yeah,
the Chinese game Go is supposed to be 800 times harder than chess. That the AI mastered Go and beat the world champion of Go in like record time. So it's a matter of saying, "Oh, great! When does it? When is it?" And they actually have had. I don't know if you guys are Star Trek fans, Star Wars fans. I'm a Stargate fan. They actually have done a reading this year, and they're having another one come up with Richard Dean Anderson and the former cast of Stargate SG-1, the TV series. A computer artificial intelligence wrote a script after it watched all the characters, and they actually fed all the data in from the previous 15 seasons of television. And artificial intelligence kicked out a script. They're going to do a live reading of the script next week or 2 weeks, like 2 weeks from now. So if they can actually have bots, I mean, and bots are the other thing. Artificial intelligence, they have these small things called bots. You go on a website and you see the little chat pop up on the bottom right hand side.
yeah. In the bottom, you got to fill the capture card and all that.
Yeah, and you have to fill in. What do you want?
You know what's funny, Corey? Going back, I didn't mean to cut you off right now.
No, you're fine, man. You're fine.
So you know how you said that they rewrote the script. There was an AI that rewrote the whole Batman trilogy, the Christopher Nolan.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then they wrote it, and then they was amazed at the script, how it was. Like they was even thinking about like doing like an extended cut to it because of that.
It's just amazing. I mean, this is just some of the things that AI can do. And these aren't full-blown sentient artificial intelligence. These are just machine learning models that take data, ingest it, and then spit something out based on what the coding says. But what if? I mean, when does it become an issue of it's actually intelligent now and sentient? And then that becomes your definition of what is truly a life form. I mean, it kind of goes back to the old Star Trek adage of we protect sentient life. Well, if machine learning if artificial intelligence becomes sentient, when does it become recognized as actually a life form? And that'll really screw with your mind because then you can't kill it. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, oh, crap. So
Yeah.
No. Blow that sucker out of the water.
Have we not learned from our own movies we
I was
create?
gonna say my next
War
question.
games.
My next question was: is it killable, and how many shotgun shells are we talking?
Shall we play a game?
No, dude, the shit that I seen in that damn movie, bro. Shotgun shells don't even do not one bullet. They even shot a nuke at this thing and it didn't do shit.
Well, let's see. And here's the thing. Let me explain to you. Part of what I designed. Hold on. Anna, he's PG now. Stop. I don't care. Go in the other room.
Oh, I totally forgot. I am so sorry, AK. We are saying like S. We throwing.
No,
all sorts of words.
Like I said, man, you can say shit. I don't mind as long as it's not so much. But you can say shit. You can say damn. You can say hell. I don't consider those curse words.
Oh, you didn't hear what she just said, so.
No, I didn't. You couldn't hear it anyway.
Dad, I have a question. Oh no, I'm sorry, Gio.
Yeah, no. Long story short, the AI is like hard to kill. What makes it hard to kill about AI is that it can control nanotechnology. So it basically can shapeshift what it wants to do. And dude, it's like imagine like you're just going against electronic devices. You basically got to be old school with it. You have to throw away all your cell phones, everything.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's not even. I mean, nanotech people think doesn't exist. Oh, it's becoming real.
It's hospitals starting to do it. Like they're starting to use it as procedures without
Iron
stitching
Man.
things. Yeah.
Extremists.
I have a question for you guys. If say we were in a simulation, what do you think is more likely? We're programmed into a computer system or plugged into something and being controlled by a higher power? Because there's a theory that we're plugged in by something like a god or something higher like that. What do you guys think about that?
I really hope if it's like a simulation, it's not like at the beginning of Skyrim where you can create your own character. Because if that was the case, I would make myself a lot more taller than what I am right now.
What are you?
I'm 5'6".
Damn, I'm taller
No
than
way,
you,
bro.
Logan's got like 3 inches on you, dude.
That's the only place he got it.
Nah, bro.
Okay, there, tripod.
I need 1 more inch. Come on. No, but I see what you're saying with the whole thing. With the whole like creating yourself. You think
Yeah,
like,
is this really my avatar? I mean, come on.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I should have boosted my stats more.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Shotgun shells wouldn't work because they, like, what part of what I designed is I designed highly available, highly resistant systems.
So you're the reason they're immune, is what I'm
No.
hearing.
You know what's funny?
And that's the thing. That's what. I'm sorry, Gio, but that's what's crazy.
No, you good.
Part of what I have to do is I have to design for what they call fault tolerance.
Mhm.
Like when I design systems in the cloud, I have to design multi-region, highly available. So if say the East Coast goes down, the West Coast picks up. If the West Coast goes down, we have these things called cache data networks, where the something in another continent would pick up because it's got a most recent copy of the data. I mean, so you've got to worry about not just all that kind of stuff, but it's like, dude, seriously, I mean, these things are built not to fail. Now, granted, the AIs right now are not built in the cloud, like the ones that the military uses, things like that. But it makes you wonder, what if something happens and they actually have these things across NIPRNet and CIPRNet, which are the military backbone of the military backbone internets, that they're highly available. I mean, so what happens even if you nuke one site? Same thing. They tried nuking Skynet and Terminator. Look what happened. It still lived on because there was a fallback point. You know, you can't destroy something that exists everywhere at the same time. And that's when people get kind of like, oh, or the Matrix. I mean, that's what the Matrix did. They plugged in. It was what was it, Sentinel City? They called it or something like that. I forget what it was. Where all the robots lived. It's some creepy shit, man.
Have you guys ever seen the TV show Devs?
Yes.
I heard of it. I never saw
Oh,
it.
Devs is amazing. I'll give you a little bit of what it's about. It is about a quantum computer. It's a very secretive thing. In the TV show, people get killed over it. It's that secretive. All right, but pretty much what it is it is a quantum computer that they developed that they could go all the way back and simulate like the past and see it in real time, like the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. They could actually see it in real life form.
Basically, it'd be kind of like using the holodeck on Star Trek.
Yes. Yeah. And they were able to recreate. Well, how'd they put it, Corey? It's not a recreation. It's almost like traveling back in time to see it. It's
Yeah,
real.
I forget what I have to go back and watch it. I only saw the first season. Man,
No,
so
no,
I'll tell
no,
you
no,
what.
no. That's the tech that Microsoft is using because I seen that when they started coming out, they started restructuring these old buildings from way back when, and they restructured it, and then now they started building
Yep,
it from how it was.
yep.
So yeah, I see what you're saying. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I definitely suggest watching Devs after this conversation
How
because
many seasons was that, man?
I believe there's only 2 out right now.
I gotta watch the second. I only saw the first one. The first one was
I
good.
forget what that guy's name is, but I really like him as an actor. The main dude, the guy that lost his daughter.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up because that didn't bother me.
But he did a TV show on Hulu, I think it was, and it was it was kind of like Face Off, but it had to do with like home decorating, like customizing things and cooking and stuff like that, like different challenges. But yeah, he was on that, dude, and he's funny.
Oh, Nick Offerman.
Yeah, Nick Offerman. Yeah,
Oh, Nick Offerman's hilarious.
yeah. No, and honestly, in Devs, man, he blew me away. I didn't know he could be so serious.
There was
You know,
only 8 episodes. Is all there were.
is that it?
That's it.
Well, then I
Only one
watched them
season.
all. There isn't no reason to keep watching.
Well, hold on here. There actually is a release as of March 12th this month on Dev Season 2. Is it coming out? Let me take a look here.
That would be awesome.
Hey, so I was saying backstage with AK before anybody else joined in. I was saying, what if everybody's here in the same path, but
It'll be out this year. I'm sorry,
I
Joe.
was like, go ahead.
Say the path's wrong.
No, that's
no,
all
see-
I do. You're good.
No, like we're going back to what you said, Papa. You know how you create a character in every video game, it starts like a blank. That's what I'm saying. Like we was created, no gender, nothing, just playing out of the spec.
God,
Like
wait a
this
minute.
damn simulation just picks randomly who to put on this earth or whatever. And you know what's funny about it? I'm gonna go back to this thing. Have you ever thought like meeting different people in your life put you in a certain pathway?
I
Oh,
choose
yeah,
not
all
to
the
talk
time.
to people.
Right.
Well,
There could be
that's
people that
just
come in
you.
your life to do you bad, and then there's people that do you good. You know.
It's like a Telltale game.
Yeah.
So and so will remember that.
So,
That's what
Dad,
I'm saying.
If that's the case, I have fucked up.
Yeah.
Dad, I have this question for you, and the
So many
reason I keep prying at you is because I know you absolutely don't believe in this, so I want to get as much information on you as
Let me
possible.
put it this way, it's not that I don't believe in it. I doubt it. To me,
What do
is
you-
there always a possibility? Sure.
I have a question. Say we were in a simulation. What do you think is more likely, that we're plugged into something and being controlled by a higher power, or we're simulated in a computer? What do you think is more
So,
likely?
artificial intelligence or a higher power,
Yes,
like aliens or something like that.
because there's a theory that we're plugged into something by aliens or a god or something like that.
Honestly, you know what's crazy? Look at it this way. You want to really screw your mind. I've thought about this one. I will say AI, and I'll tell you why. You do
Please do.
realize that there is an entire section of our history missing from the Dark Ages. There is almost no recorded history for about a 400 or 500 year period, other than very basic stuff.
Yep.
And you think about it, look how much the Earth has evolved technologically just in the past 100 years. You're telling me it took them over a millennia to go from, look, a wheel to, painting. I mean, I understand once things start rolling downhill, they go super damn fast. I get that. But it makes you wonder if the reason there's a dark ages is because that dark ages was hidden and now we're plugged into what was developed back 1,000 years ago. So look, you want to really screw with your mind, look at that one.
I never knew that. Honestly, you just baffled my mind just talking about that. I never knew that. I never knew there
Mind
was like 500
freak.
years missing in our history, bro.
Yeah, I
Wow.
mean, don't get me wrong. There is stuff that they have found, but I mean, there is a good 300 or 400 year gap of anything. Even to use the words "well documented" would be very, I mean, tough to say, compared to like what they have nowadays. But I mean, you can go back to like the 1500s and you see stuff from all the philosophers and things like that. You go back to ancient Greece, Plato, Socrates. You're talking back in the BC era, before Christ. And now, but like then you look at like the Dark Ages from like say 500 to like 1000 AD, 1200 AD. There is so much stuff that is almost impossible to find, and not just here. You're talking areas of China. They call them the Forgotten Dynasties. You're talking areas of Russia where they don't remember. They have almost no record. It's almost globally. There's like a 500-year gap in written history, and it's really weird. And try explaining that one. I'm just trying to screw with your mind right now. But
No,
try
no,
explaining
you
that one.
are,
It's
man.
kind of
You
weird.
are. Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
And we're talking like medieval ages, right?
Yeah. And that's the
Yeah.
other thing. You go back. I'm sorry, Logan. We kind of dragging other conspiracies here as well, where ancient aliens were there visitors back in the day that have since given us this technology, or was it given to us years ago, and we didn't know how to deal with it properly.
And just
And
watch that movie, man. It answers a lot of questions. That question exactly that you're telling me now. We'll just watch that movie. They'll literally answer right there.
what streaming service is it on?
Moonfall. I'm pretty sure it's on Paramount Plus. I'm not sure.
That's right. Okay, I'll take a look. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll watch that now. Not now, but no.
Yeah. And then on the flip side of things, this is from Neil deGrasse Tyson. He says, what do all those simulated universes have in common? They all have the power to simulate themselves. We don't have the power to do that yet, which means we can't send ourselves into the future as a simulation because we don't have the power to do so yet. So we can't continue the chain. So either we are the real one or we're the one in the chain that's still evolving to try to then make a simulation within their own world. So the odds of us going from a gazillion to one flips. So that's the flip side of that.
I mean, yeah, our brain doesn't have the potential power to reach that level, maybe. But I'm pretty sure you guys know what the metaverse is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, think about it. Like the possibilities are endless in the metaverse. You're actually. What's crazy? You know what's spooky about that shit? I mean,
Spooky.
that it puts your actual like persona in there, not an avatar, like your actual the way you look in there. Like they put you in the metaverse. Like I've seen live like metaverse concerts going on. It's kind of creepy, bro. That you can just literally just pop a beer out of nowhere in the digital air and just like virtually drink it.
So, did anybody ever play or hear or see of any game from the Persona series? Because that's exactly what it is.
Oh
right there.
yeah, I have.
Yeah,
back in the
yeah.
day,
Like
Persona
Persona 5, literally,
yep.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy that you can just teleport a beer out of nowhere and just drink it virtually, and it was funny how this dude bought tickets to see a movie in the metaverse, and then they just show him walking and everything. I was like, what the hell?
I don't mess with that shit, bro. I ain't ever putting on a VR headset. I don't care.
No, but it's crazy because it's not even a VR. It's just there's a setup where you
Hey,
can
Logan.
put yourself in it. Like it's crazy.
Listen, I play Beat Saber and it's fun.
Listen, I want people to realize. I know some of you probably haven't watched it because it is a little older, but the movie with Bruce Willis, Surrogate.
Surrogates, yeah.
Mhm.
That shit is really going to truly become a reality one day. It is eventually going to get to the point where we can create AIs to look like anything that we want, and then you are just going to be able to control them from home, from a machine that you lay in, almost like it looks like a tanning bed, almost like in the movie. And you just create the whole, it goes to work for you. It does everything. The only time it stops is whenever you stop it.
You live your life through it.
Yep.
That's what it is. And that's where the back end of that movie. Remember, no one had immune systems, everything else. They were all confined to their houses for their lives.
Yep.
And that's the weird thing. Like, think about it, man. Everyone thinks VR headsets are so amazing. Dude, that's just the tip of the iceberg. They want to put microchips in your brain so you can directly interact in your mind.
They already did it with a pig.
VR. Yeah, they have.
Yeah, Elon Musk did it with a pig with
Yep.
the Neuralink.
Yeah, Neuralink. Yeah.
Remember that guy on Shark Tank that pitched them on a Bluetooth speaker that you can enlarge in your damn brain? You'd have to get it
Yes.
surgically put in there.
They laughed. They kicked him out fast.
Bro, you can't really say though that we've all seen Ready Player One, right?
No,
Yeah.
That movie.
no.
For the movie, no. All right. Well, for ones that happen, you can't sit here and say that you wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't.
I would.
Oh, I know I fucking would
No, I
instantly.
would.
Like that would
I'm
no lie.
divided
Ready
right
Player
there.
One would be the end of me. Would I'd probably never come back from that, dude. Like I'm a very big gamer person, and having a game like that, it's almost like your mind escapes reality eventually.
Well, they literally had, and I remember seeing their in actual productions of this, and I'm sure nobody except Geo would know this, but Geo, you remember Sword Art Online, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're literally trying to make that now. Obviously, without the you die in the game, you die in real life, and the lockout button's there, but they're literally trying to do that to where you can,
Well,
quite
yeah,
like
yeah.
with the VR, that literally just go in, and it's like, to the
Yeah.
others, it literally just looks like you're just laying on your bed taking a nap with the headset on.
No, yeah. Let's stick to this. Let's stick to this subject for. Let me just answer this one. You know, it's crazy. I know a lot of people play Grand Theft Auto 5. Did you see like how they just did like mods for servers where now you live in a simulation world where you could be a cop, you could be the store clerk, you could be that guy that's walking down the street and everything. Like it's crazy how simulation is just going, not just in like general life, but like literally in the video game world as well. Like, dude, like there's people creating paintings and stuff, doing real estate, buying property in the metaverse right now. So that should just tell you a lot. Like they're literally, we're gonna have another life in the life. Well, not me. I don't have a Facebook or anything. I'm not gonna get into the metaverse or anything. But people that are in it, they're literally gonna have another life in there with the economic. You're gonna use Bitcoin as the ecosystem in that. So
That's great.
yeah, dude. Like I've been doing my research because I was like all into it because I'm a gamer and I'm always gonna. But when I looked at it, I was like, no, I'm not selling my information online and all that stuff. I'm not putting none of that.
Well, I mean, you talk about virtual currency. You guys heard about Walmart, right? Trying to come up with their own virtual currency that only you can use at their store.
Well, skip the subject again. When I was out in California, they used for you to buy like stuff out there. They had their own payment system as well and whatnot. So it's kind of crazy, yeah, what you're saying too, because Target is doing the same thing. They're trying to come up with their own currency system as well.
What's up, Michelle?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm hanging in there.
That's good. Glad you could join.
Hope you feel better.
Yes, feel better.
Thank you. I think it's just allergies. I can't, like, nose.
I was like that 2 weeks ago. I was like that 2 weeks ago.
The allergies are terrible here. Not
It's
terrible.
going from winter to spring. It's
Yeah, it's terrible.
yeah. No, I've been having stuffy noses and stuff when I wake up in the morning. That's all I know.
Ugh. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Like
Who let her in?
I did.
I did.
Dang.
Hey, I recall you came out here 5 minutes ago and said, "Mom, get on the show. We need to laugh."
Mom, it was sarcasm.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
No, Michelle's the heart of this.
Yeah. So if you didn't want me on the show,
Got her, we don't get renewed for a
came
season
out
2.
here.
Yeah, she's the ref.
So, Mom, do you believe in the simulation theory?
Honestly, no, I do not.
Why?
What are you doing?
I'm two-fisting it, bro.
Why would you not just pour both of them in one thing? Why make it complicated?
What do you drink?
So you don't think
drinking?
Deja Vu is a simulation? Like,
No, honestly, I don't. And the reason why I don't is
no,
I
I just say that because like everybody has like different takes on like Deja Vu not being a simulation, and then people thinking it's a simulation because like you just thought of something that just happened.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just, I mean, I believe in like a lot of things, or like kind of like I'm open-minded
Yeah.
when it comes to a lot of things, but for some reason I just can't open.
You
my
can't
mind.
grasp your mind around it.
I can't open my mind to this.
So let me explain this to you. This is from Nick Bosch, philosopher from University of Oxford. Our computer power is growing rapidly. We create simulations of worlds. We have video games with characters inside the game. Imagine a day where you can simulate a world so perfectly with life forms so well that you can recreate every single neurosynaptic thought you could have. But now you're in the simulation on the computer, including the perception of free will.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't imagine a human being. I'm sorry. I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I just can't.
It is a very, very crazy thought. I mean, to sit there and honestly think that everything that you know, everything that you've ever known, family, friends, business, your job, everything is just a simulation, and
Right.
that nothing is real. Because eventually, I mean, if you start thinking about it and it's just a simulation, then nothing is real. So what are we all truly doing? What is our purpose? If there is no purpose, then there is no guidelines, and anyone can just do whatever they want.
Yeah, right. Like Logan, you showed me some videos and pictures and how this works, and I mean, to me, I don't know. It's a little far fetched, but
It's down on my desk.
who's to say? I don't know the things that come out in this world today. Who's to say? I don't know. 50 years from now, maybe it will happen. I don't know. Maybe it will. But right now, I don't think we have the computer capacity to make that happen right now. And I just don't think that right now. That's just
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. If we are in the simulation, it doesn't matter if we have the computer capacity. It matters if the ones who put us in the simulation had the computer capacity. So what if the people who were to program us into a computer had it already, and we're just AI. We're not even real human beings. So
Okay. Let me simplify this for you, bud. Like, for instance, I don't know how many video games you've played, if any, but you probably heard of The Sims, right?
Yeah.
I was asking your mom.
Mom, have you heard of The Sims?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's pretty much what he's talking about. Imagine some beings that are way more stronger and powerful than us, with way bigger technology and capability. If they created us, say we're the Sims for them. It's like I said at the beginning of the show, we're the Sims for them. But in their mind, they're just playing a game. But to us, this is reality, because
We are the game, pretty much.
we are simulated. We do have brains. We do, we're computer generated. But to them, they're just playing a game. So when we're playing The Sims, and you're sitting there playing that Sims game, what we see is what we see because we programmed to see it. But in the game, do they do what we do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are they sitting having podcasts? Are they sitting going to work every day? Granted, we're not playing all the time, but a simulated world can run on its own.
Yeah. I get.
Well, it's also, and I feel like this theory probably was thought of when they made the movie, but that one new movie, Free Guy, where the AI literally gains its own system and goes, wait a minute, I want to be real. I don't want to be like programmed the way the AI are. He literally breaks free and is like, all right, this is what I'm doing now. And everybody's like, I don't understand what's happening. But
That's like Bicentennial Man. Remember with Robin Williams, where he was just a robot and he end up getting feelings and all that.
Oh yeah. Robin Williams, yeah.
Yeah, he was a simulated robot. So
Yeah.
and then he broke free from the user.
Yeah. So it's an interesting topic. I don't really believe in it, but I do think it's a 50-50 shot because let me just read this one more time so that I can tell her this. If you close your eyes and throw a dart at a dartboard with trillions of simulations and one real simulation, the odds are you're going to be a simulation and you're not the actual real world. So,
I have a dartboard right here. Give me a second.
Well, I mean, you have to be sober just to make sure you even hit the board.
No, I don't.
I mean, you think about it though. If if you're simulated, your time of your life is going to expand two ways. One, you are going to die because, AKA, the user of you deleted you from the program, or because they just got tired of playing that certain user, or they've played out your life. Now, granted, you know how the cats' lives work. You know well, no, I'm talking more like if even though they're 3 years old in human years, they're actually like 20.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I look at the lifespan of a virtual person. Yes, we sit there and play it for a week, and we might put in 16 hours that week on that game for that user. But to that user, that 16 hours is like 16 years. You know what I mean? So eventually, as you keep playing, and that's why everyone goes at different ages, because every user, anyway.
So if that's the case, what happens when we die? Do we just if we were in a simulation, do we just respawn into the simulation as a different sim?
Well, I'm Catholic or whatever, so we believe like in that theory, reincarnation is that. So I could see that theory playing a justice right there. Like when the simulation dies, you become somebody else.
Well, listen, man. I'm a very strong believer, and out of a lot of beliefs, at least, this is the one I do believe in.
Later.
Babies cannot talk when they're born, and they can't talk for at least the first year and a half sometimes of their life. All depends how quick
unless you're Logan and you speak Latin when you're 2.
Yeah. But I believe babies can't talk because that's the brain's process of wiping your previous past.
That's a cool thought. I hadn't thought about that.
When you're born, you still remember your past.
Mm.
You're still in transition to become the new you. I mean, listen, I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people out there that have wrote about this and have said about it and talk about it. Babies don't talk because they do remember. Eventually, when they start talking, it's because they forget.
Kind of like how kids can see paranormal, but we can't.
Exactly.
That's a very good theory, AK, because I watched this documentary. There was this kid who was born and he had a giant birthmark along the top of his forehead. And about 4 years into his life, he started talking about how he could remember his past life and how he was murdered with an axe by a guy down the street. And he would go to this dude's house like a few times a year and just scream at him. And one time his mom went with him, and they I forget what happened, but they ended up having to call the police on the guy, and they found a toddler's bones buried in his backyard.
Whoa!
It's funny that you're telling this because my wife's sitting right next to me right now, just nodding because she's heard about it too. No, it's a real.
No, she's just planning your death, dude. That's all it is.
Probably so.
I gotta get the
itch that just hurt me, bro. Like literally.
Wow.
That's why she sits there and watches those cold case files all day.
She's getting ideas.
Sketching.
Oh, okay.
If she walks all over one day, I know to get worried.
Michelle knows where I'm going with this one.
Oh, you're not doing this.
Oh, I am. My wife is notorious for talking in her sleep, doing weird things. Now, this could tie.
She hucked a loogie in your face the other night.
No, not the other night. It was a couple years ago. She literally sat up bolt upright.
That was just intentional.
She's literally doing. For like
that she meant that, Corey. Don't let her bullshit. Yeah. That was all intentional.
That was like you must have ate like beans or something, and she had enough of yours.
Yeah, she didn't like your breath in her face, so she's like, "Here, have this."
Well, that's why I ripped gas in her face the next day. Go figure.
Oh man!
And the cycle continues.
Exactly, circle of life,
man.
And the cycle of pink eye too.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true love right there. I give you pink eye, you gonna get my loogie.
It's funny because last night she'll wake up in the middle of the night, like moaning, making weird like ghost noises, things like that.
Sorry.
Yeah. So last night she's literally. Let me close the door so there's no echo here. It's funny because out of nowhere she starts going, it's fucking ridiculous. Today, I want it done today. Today. Starts screaming. Today and woke the dog up. Woke Anna up. It's like 4:00 in the morning. She never wakes up. Like
I never woke up either because I am a deep sleeper.
She goes back to sleep.
It's like I just don't care.
Starts mumbling in her sleep. Then out of nowhere, like 15 minutes
The dog starts talking in his
sleep. I swear to God, it freaked me the hell out. She starts cackling in this Joker laugh. Bobbing her head up and down like crazy, freaking out. The dog is crying. At the same time I look up, there is a clock on the one wall. I swear to God, this is a huge it looked like a dude with a big ass dark black circle for a head until I realized it was just a clock on the wall. But you go through the crap we've been through. She started full-blown Joker style, going psycho laughter in her sleep.
Hey, speaking of the Joker,
instantly, dude, I'm like, if I was you, I'd be sitting there. I'd be like, man, did I really forget to do something today?
Dude, I was like, what did I do? She's pissed off. I better wash my back, hide the knives. But,
that reminds me.
Right, I'd be like, man, I really got to go back and check my honey-do list now because I don't want to die in the morning.
I was dreaming.
I need to check on the fridge. Be like, all right, what did I miss on my to-do list? I swear I did everything.
Mom, I remember. You probably remember this too. A few years back, I couldn't sleep, so I got on my bed and I went into the kitchen and I heard something. So I went to the living room and you were like growling in your sleep, and I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? And she said, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
and
my
that's
wife
when Logan never wants to sleep again.
Well, he spent all of age 3 in the living room. He wouldn't go back to bed.
He was like,
I have these weird, like, bizarre dreams for like 3 months in a row.
Oh, dude, it's scary how accurate they
I won't
are.
remember my
Michelle's
dreams,
Bizarre
and then
Adventure,
it'll happen
book it.
again.
Well, and the worst thing is her dreams are almost like freaking premonitions, man. They're scary.
Yeah, like if I dream about something, I swear to God, it'll come true.
Like for 3 months, I never want to hear she dreamed about me because I don't want to know what the hell's gonna happen.
Like I have dreams of people like that. I swear to God that like family members or friends that'll die, and I swear to God, I'm not joking. They'll die. Or I have dreams of people like that are going to the hospital, like my dad. I swear to God. For the past 2 years, he's been sick, and every time I have a dream, like I know, I woke up at 3:00 in the morning one time, and I said to Corey, I got to call my dad. He's in the hospital. He's like, Michelle, seriously? I'm like, no, I had an intuition. I'm like, my dad's in the hospital, and I gave him the right diagnosis. And Corey's like, okay, yeah, go ahead, wake up your dad like an idiot, and because he's not there. The next day, my sister called and said my dad was in the hospital with the same thing I said my dad had.
That's when Michelle turned to Corey and like
crazy.
No, that's called clairvoyancy.
Yeah.
Or that's called a glitch in the matrix. And it really is.
No, but I was told that I'm a psychic medium, but everything it's just weird. Like it's weird.
So
we've had this conversation before. I see.
Oh, what's her favorite? What's the one?
In the house.
What's the one lady from Percy? She's the prophet. There we go. Couldn't think of the one lady from Percy Jackson.
Some people have the Long Island medium. We have the Bayonne medium. That's what we have.
No, bro, we got the Bayonne demon.
No, that's you, son.
Mom is sweet.
Keep it going real quick. I'll be right back, guys.
Don't threaten us.
So
Mom, about that airline food.
Mom, why can't you grasp the simulation theory? Why?
I can't, Logan. I'm sorry. I just can't.
What if I told you nothing was real and nothing matters?
I'd say you're quoting Queen.
I just
Thank you, Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, thank you, Freddie.
I can't. I don't know. I just can't grasp it.
And you know your mom will go into some seriously deep philosophical discussions, but some people just don't want to go down this rabbit hole. I mean,
No, it's not that I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. I just don't.
You can't comprehend it.
I can't comprehend it.
You get what we're saying, but you just can't comprehend
Yeah.
how it's true.
Right.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, man.
Yo, Dad, tell them how a few months back I literally drove myself to near insanity because of how much I was researching this damn
Oh
thing.
my
Yeah.
God, dude, this kid, and I'm not trying to sell him out. I mean, he was on the verge of tears a couple nights because he would go like so down. Forget the rabbit hole, man. He dug the damn thing. I mean, he was going so deep. I mean, he was going nuts for about. He didn't sleep much for like 3 or 4 days. I mean, he was going absolutely crazy thinking about this crap. I'm like, dude, you just got to stop. It's not worth driving yourself nuts over. And it just got progressively worse. So finally, just one day he just passed out like at 7 o'clock in the evening. He didn't wake up the next day, and he was better. But I think he became so overly tired that he couldn't stop thinking about it. Oh man, he drove himself freaking bonkers for days. And every time you tell him no, he'd go research things to counter what you were saying. Like, no, Dad,
That's
it's
when
true.
That's when Logan just goes in a reverse card.
Yeah.
He's like, I've had this ready.
I remember, I forget what it was. You're like, we don't have the computing power to do that. I'm like, well, the people who put us in the computer have the computing power to do it. And you're like, that's not possible. I'm like, really? Because this scientist said it.
Yeah, but
according
scientists say a lot
because
of things
according to
that
Dr.
it's true.
McKillicuddy,
Dr.
he
Magoo?
said,
Yo.
according
Yeah.
to Dr. Coconut, he says you're wrong.
The professor on Gilligan's Island knows.
I mean, like,
Dr. McKillicuddy once
listen.
had real quick. We had Secret Santa at work, and my buddy had my dad, who is an actual teacher there. So for one of the for like one of the last gifts, he got, I can't remember what it was, but it was an alcohol of sorts, and he literally labeled it Dr. McKillicuddy's turnip elixir. Like he just peeled off it was some type of whiskey, and he just peeled it off and just slapped down the label of Dr. McKillicuddy's turnip elixir on it.
What?
Nobody watch Killing. Okay.
I'll pull up a video of some glitches in the Matrix.
You do that. You do that, but you have fun.
Dad, say something.
I'm here doing dishes.
What the?
Hey,
He is on mute doing the dishes.
Hey, sorry guys, I actually have to cut the show a little short tonight. My son's not feeling good, and I got to get in
oh,
and take care of him. So,
I
Sorry,
hope
man.
he's okay.
yeah, no, he's fine. He's just, I think it's kind of what you were talking about, just sinuses and stuff like that. So
Yeah, probably
Allergies.
because even
he's been messed up all week. He hasn't wanted to sleep that much, and it's hard to get him down.
Aw.
we've even had the stomach bug going on. So yeah.
Yeah. No, he's doing the best he can, but I'm gonna go in and take care of him. So,
Okay.
but no, I appreciate you guys coming on. Sorry about yesterday. That news with the Eagles broke, and that was too good to pass up. Had to get that conversation in, and then wanted to do this tonight, but yeah, just things aren't going so well this week so far. So we'll get it back on track though next week.
I hope he feels better.
Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, why don't you guys give yourselves one last shout out real fast, and then we'll get out of here.
Subscribe to my sports channel, LGZ Productions. Subscribe to my backup channel, which AK yesterday actually became a part of. Me, him, Nate, Zion, Slay, Adrian, and Jaden, where we upload non-sports related topics.
Nonsense.
What you just said?
No, all kinds of nonsense. Fun stuff, but all kinds of nonsense.
Shout
And
out
occasionally you might see me on there if I choose to participate. But I paid the
You're
bills, so
banned.
why not? I paid
If
the
I can
bills,
find
so
the time.
yeah, I paid the bills. So let's see. Corey Knapp here, the Big Bald Azure guy. Everything cloud related, cloud careers, cloud training. AK is a member, and apparently soon to be Zion. So we'll have some updates
Sweet.
weekly too.
It's awesome, man. Happy to hear that. It'll be nice to have another familiar face in there.
Exactly. I was gonna have Michelle do it, but she backed out on me.
By the way, if Cam Newton doesn't sign with a team, that bet isn't going through because it's not possible for him to throw that many yards. So I'm not doing that course.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, bro.
I hope he signs a 1 minute contract with the Panthers to retire. But at least that means he said he did sign a contract, which means you have to owe the bet.
He still had a 1 day contract.
All right,
Exactly.
if you guys don't know, I said Cam Newton will put up a specific amount of yards and touchdowns and whatever. And if he didn't do that, I'd have to take this stupid Azure course.
Why would you do that?
Because I think Cam Newton was going to do good this year.
On what team?
Why would you think that?
Because I like Cam Newton.
On what team?
Whatever team he signs with.
I mean, isn't he
That
still
ain't gonna be
technically-
no team.
Well, no, isn't he technically still signed with Carolina?
No, he's a free agent. He's a free agent.
Yeah.
Is he a free agent? Okay.
Yep.
I don't think Cam's gonna be bad, but that's just
Future starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles.
what?
And if that happens, they're in deep trouble.
What?
What'd you say?
I said future starting QB of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Kids, this just goes
You
to
need
show
a quarterback more than I do.
We already got Tyrod.
Kids, this just goes to show you cocaine's one hell of a drug.
I got to stop supplying my son.
Yeah, it's eating his brain. He's getting delusional. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys so much. We'll figure out next week's topic. Until next time, everyone have a great week. And I will see you guys tomorrow night for Eats Meets West. And then probably on Thursday, I'll be doing a solo stream, just talking to the chat. So everybody stay tuned for that. Until next time, peace out, guys. And let your minds wander.
Have a good night, brother.
Have a good night.
Good night, guys.